Hello and welcome. A few months ago I set out to answer the key questions about building an R2D2, which is how much, how long and how difficult. Well, I've now got an answer to those questions. So how much did it cost? Well, it cost Well, before I actually answer these questions, I still need to do the foot hoses. Now, I seem to have lost some of the actual footage of me making these, but I'll show you what I have got, and I'm quite pleased with the end result. I'm not sure the different methods people go through fitting these. This hose seems a little bit wide, so I've decided I'm going to make a little two-stage dowel, which should just squidge in there. That's going to slot in there, and then it can should be right. I might glue it, we'll see. But I don't mind a bit of tape, and then I've seen some people with tape around the ends. Might nice with a bit of silver tape, but it also stops the sharper edges from poking out. So I'll be probably quite happy with that anyway. So I've just measured off 10 inches, took a hacksaw to it, and I'm going to try and clean this edge a bit before taping it up. So I'm not happy with the frayed ends of this metal, so I'm actually going to go back to the drawing board on this, probably get some kind of grindstone out or something, but either way it's not going to be today, so I'm going to come back to that probably tomorrow. Okay, so I've tried these metal hoses, they're just not working for me. I'm not happy with them. Even now, just holding them, I can feel the spikes sticking to my legs, so I'm going to go with a different approach. I've decided to go with just the hose, the tubing. This is 8mm tube, and I've already tested it. It seems to slot in quite nicely straight into the, I forgot what they call them, the little ends inside the feet. And then I'm going to cover that with some braiding, which I'll then spray paint in. This is actually the way I wanted to go originally, because I want to use some of this stuff on R0 but run some lights through it, since it's going to be a drumming droid, sort of a band disco kind of thing. So I've already picked up a couple of cheap cans of spray paint from the local Poundland shop, and I'll see if these are any good. If they're not, I can get some other spray and try again later. I think this is about 3 meters, so this would be more than sufficient for both R2 and R0 and anything else that crops up later. I'm not going to cut all of it down just yet. I thought I'd make one first and see how it's looking. Not sure whether to leave it right up, flush to the end, or whether to leave a bit poking out. I'm not sure yet. So what I'll do is just cut it so it does go to the end, and if not, I can always just trim it off in a minute. So that still didn't want to go in. I'm sure there's people watching this now who know exactly how to do it, and I'm just blundering through. I'm just going to nip a little bit out. That was the dowel I made for the metal one. Just see if it made a difference. So what I'm going to do is stick this little dowling in. I am just going to tape that around the ends. I don't know if this is the right way to do it. Maybe a bit of glue would have been better. Don't like how flayed it's become. Oh, that's horrible. Be careful, more careful for the next one. What I'm going to do is probably just put a dab of glue so that sticks in. Seems to have just misplaced the other one. So, like I said, I've got little homemade dowels that I made for the metal one the other week. So I shouldn't have really cut that, but now it's going to look how that is. Okay, I think that'll probably do, so I'm going to cut some more tubes down. I'll print a couple more of these dowlings out. I'm still going to put a bit of tape around it. I think I'd have rather used some sort of silver duct tape, so it might get replaced later, but I do have plenty to go at, but it'll do for today. So I'm actually quite happy with the general look of those. I'm probably going to do a bit of tweak and tinkering, but they will absolutely do for now, and I'll cover any modifications I do later. So how difficult is it to build an R2D2? Well, it isn't. There's full community support. It's an international community. There is always someone there willing to help. There's instructions, there's these videos, and all of it is completely achievable. And I'm hoping I've sort of demonstrated that through these past few videos. So don't let skill set prevent you from at least making a start with this, because there'll always be someone there to help you get through any difficult parts. So how long did it take? Well, if you've been watching from episode 1, I started printing on December the 1st, and 2 weeks later I started actually assembling the parts. January the 10th, I did its first drive. So it was up and going, electronics in, able to move under its own steam, or in this case battery power. March the 7th, R2 went to his first event, looked fairly complete, wasn't quite right, a little bit of damage, maybe due to my fault and loose wiring and rushing and concrunch, but you know, it took me that sort of 4 months to go from the first print to actually able to drive it at an event, and it got certainly a lot of smiles from people visiting. April the 18th, he went to another event in Scarborough where he passed his MOT, and again I was able to drive around, all fully insured and safe. And then today, May the 16th, I've just attached the last greeblies, as in the foot hoses. So as far as I'm concerned, this sort of first iteration of R2, he is complete. He drives, he moves, he's got lights, his utility arms come out, he's got sounds, all the power's in place, the wiring is reasonably secure. Still want to do a little bit of tweaking, but he is kind of complete. Certainly capable to go to a convention and please the crowd, and of course please you, having that fun of actually driving one round. Okay, so I did set out in the hope that I could build a working R2 in 2 months. I didn't quite make it, and once I didn't, I did slow down on my progress. But also be aware, like many people, I have a full-time job, I have a full-time family, so this has not been an everyday project. realistically, I've only been spending 3 or 4 half days a month, because usually one weekend in the month I'm just too busy to do anything work on it. And quite often, because I'm also recording, I will spend half a day actually sort of tinkering and building, and then half a day getting all the video footage together, editing, and then getting up onto YouTube. So I kind of think you could potentially do it a little bit quicker. But like I said, these videos that I've uploaded probably only represent maybe 3 to 4 hours of building. Yes, there's some videos that I spent 2 days on. For example, when I was first calibrating the motors, they took a while. But it's something you could still probably do maybe over 4 or 5 weekends. Now, just because you could do it quick, you've got to ask yourself the question, should you do it quick? I think it's better to sort of take time, take it slowly, enjoy the build, take your time to think about what it is you're actually doing. I've definitely done some damage because of brushing. I've now done 3 different control units just because I'm sort of going through an iterative build, and I'm fine with that. I'm quite happy with this progress. I just got a Facebook reminder from 2022, and in the background is my R2D2 in pieces, which I'd now been building for 6 years. So to go from 6 years to 6 months, I think that's a pretty good turnaround. And another big side note, I've built 4 other droids while making R2. Yes, a different scale, different level of complexity, and I've also started making a 5th, which is sort of hidden in this box just here. And I've also been working on some other side projects. So R2 has not had my full 100% undistracted attention. I've built the medical droid, a 39er, I've built a half-size battle droid, and I also built a Clank from the game Ratchet and Clank. So if I had a better attention span, I might have done this even quicker by not being going on side quests and side missions to do other droids. But sometimes temptation is just too great. You see something excitable and you want to just jump straight in. Okay, so the cost. I do hope you are now sat down, cuppa in hand, and ready to go through this. Now, the costs to me might not be the same costs to you. I might have spent a bit too much in some places, you might get some better bargains, etc. So, the filament. This is the question that people always ask. How much filament does this droid take? I'm always a bit curious about why, what's the motivation? Is it just so that you can order the right amount in one go, or is it because you think that's how much your droid is going to cost? I learned a long time ago, this is a small part. So I've bought, in total I bought 20 rolls of PLA plus, I bought 2 rolls of additional PLA, and then I bought 2 rolls of the carbon fibre PET-G. This has not all gone into R2. If you remember, for those who've watched it all along, I had 2 domes that I was not happy with. I also printed an extra ankle and some extra shells because I was just pressing print on the printers before I went to bed and got up in the morning, so I made some mistakes, so I wasted a few rolls of filament there. Not a lot, but certainly would have come in cheaper had everything gone perfectly and I'd made no mistakes and no reprints. So there we are, we're just over £200 in filament. I think that is still quite a bargain for such a large, well, you can't see it properly, for such a large model and friend. So electrical, this is obviously the big one. This is where we've got the motor controllers, we've got the batteries, the chargers, I've got extra cable and wires, the Astro pixels, battery adapters, terminal blocks, other speed controls for the dome, I've got voltage regulators, and I've also included the radio transmitter and servos. Now some of these things I already had in stock. I already had a radio transmitter from previous projects, and some people will spend more than this in total on just a single transmitter. Now also in this price is some of my replacement things. If you remember, again for those who've watched it all the way through, I did blow up one of the FlySky controllers, so I had to buy a replacement. I've already bought 4 of the motor controllers for the dome speed controller, which is only about, well, it was, this sort of, what, £6.50 each, but they came in a pair, so I bought 2. One I blew up, one just didn't work, because I bought it so early on I couldn't return it, so I ended up buying another pair. So I've now got at least one left over for another project, which hopefully coming in a few weeks. So either way, we're now at £469 for the electronic stuff, all in. Now again, you might have some of this to hand, so it might not cost as much of this. So motors, wheels and bearings. Again, this is another quite big cost. The Omni wheels themselves cost £80. The motors, which are the hub motors, £120 for the pair. Then bearings, the Lazy Susan for the dome motor itself, and then the little sonic hub to attach the gear to it. So again, this adds up to quite a bit now. But this is where the bigger costs are. But these should last a long time. Now this is the category that really shocked me on my first R2, just how much we spend on nuts and bolts. So we can see here £128.66 on nuts and bolts. Now I've still got trays and trays left over, so some of the nuts and bolts I bought for this project will go into other projects. I've also dipped into older ones for this project, so this is not a full itinerary. I will have used nuts and bolts that weren't in this little listing inside my droid. Paint. Now again, this is another one where people often don't think about it unless you're into painting. I certainly didn't when I first started this hobby. You know, the most expensive for me was the Motip spray putty to try and get that nice finish at £33 for 6 cans. It didn't all go on this. I've used it on the project, so again, it's where it's crossing over into the other things that I've done. Now, I'm a bit of a cheapskate at this point. I've bought a lot of paint from my local shops where it's quite often £2 and £3 a can, rather than an auto spares where you might be at 10 and 12. Other people will use airbrushes, and I believe if you've got that equipment, the cost comes even, you know, it comes further down. So I've spent approximately £78 on paint and a bit of glue. Now, I know I've used more glue than this, and I've not factored it in. Again, these are sort of costs that you just sort of lose track of. Why have I not factored it in? Because I've pinched the glue off my wife because she has a lot of glue, and I said, you know, I've asked, can I borrow it? And I've then used it, so I've forgot to put it into the spreadsheet. Upgrades. Because I was now printing with carbon fibre on the P1P, I had to upgrade it to a hardened steel and metal gears, so I spent another £26 on those 2 replacement parts. I didn't film myself upgrading it because it's already quite well documented on YouTube. So some of you might have been sat there with a calculator totting this up as I've gone along, but now for the big reveal, how much has been spent on this R2? Approximately £1,180 and 24 pence. Now, I genuinely thought it was going to come in more for £600 or £700. It did stay under £1,000 until I started putting replacement costs in and the price of my radio gear that I already had. So I have not personally spent this much on building this droid because I already had quite a lot of stuff lying around. But this is a ballpark figure now for you to sort of work towards. This is what it might be costing. Like I said, some of you might get filament cheaper. You might have already got existing things lying around. If you look at AliExpress, we'll see the motors and batteries and things going up and down in price. So sometimes it's a case of waiting around for a bargain. But also, you could go a lot more than this if you start putting extra features in, better quality speakers and sound systems. Talking of which, I forgot to put the price of the speakers in, but they were a few quid, so I might come back to those later. So, as said, I feel this now wraps up R2D2 for this stage. As I said at the beginning, I've got a driving R2, we've got utility arms, we've got sounds, we've got a dome that turns, we've got the lights in there. It's certainly more than enough to say you have a fully working R2D2. Of course, there's lots of the modifications you could do to him, but I am going to stop there. For now, I've got other projects I want to work on, so again, please do stick around. As always, like, subscribe, positive comment below, because the 3 most important words of my childhood, droids are never finished.